Today is going to be a story time about my labor and delivery. Before we get started, a little disclaimer. My boyfriend's in here playing Fortnite, so if you hear yelling, that's him on the game. And you know how that can get. I'm sure y'all got a brother or boyfriend or something that be on Fortnite just game. Okay, so first thing first, I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to deliver him with no epidural, and I don't know why I was so like dedicated to that, but I was like, I'm gonna do it, and you know, you'll find out in the end why I didn't.
That's the dumbest name I ever heard.
But yeah, that's how I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it all natural, but unfortunately you don't get everything that you want.
Fuck out of here.
So I went to the hospital. Well, first of all, I was due. My due date was October 31st. I actually had two due dates, which is weird. I had one was October 23rd, and the other one was October 31st. Okay, I didn't break or anything. I actually walked in and like I told them like I wanted to do this. And I went to the hospital on the November 1st, which was 2 days or a day after my due date, which was October 31st. But then I had a due date was October 23rd. So, anyways, it was after my due date. So I decided, you know, that I'm just gonna go in because I want to get this over with. So they asked me like, are you sure you want to do this? I chose to do it that day. I did not want to wait. I wanted to hurry up and get it over with.
Hey, Shelly.
Okay, so they had me sitting in like the little room, like the bed for I don't honestly I don't even know. I was not keeping track of the hours. But they were just like checking if I was contracting or not, and like how consistent my contractions were. Okay, so I was just sitting there, and you know, my mom was there, and my boyfriend was there, of course, and you know, we were just waiting until I don't know. I guess I got put into a room so they could start the process because because I didn't go in like ready to have the baby. They have to do something, I don't know what it's called, to make you have the baby, since like I didn't actually do it myself. Okay, so well, I was finally put into that room, and they put me like on this monitor thing, and you know, just again keeping track of my contractions and everything, saying how far I was dilated. So at first I was in there. I'll say it was nighttime. Okay, when I went in the very beginning. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm studying. When I went in the very beginning, I went in the morning. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning when I first went on November 1st. So when I got into that room, it was dark time. That's all I know. I wasn't keeping track of the time, like I said. Okay, I was dilating with no epidural. It was very painful. Well, I'm not gonna put the edges on it. It was not very painful. It was painful, but it was like I was able to cope with it. So, and like when I started getting further along, it started hurting more. But I was doing good. I think I dilated 6 centimeters that night, and I remember it was like 12 at night. I remember I had that with my mom. So I was dilated like 6 centimeters. And then, you know, I went to sleep or whatever. So I woke up the next morning to find out that I wasn't dilating anymore, supposedly.
Hey, Atlanta, I hear gliders.
So they were like kind of concerned or whatever. They were getting concerned because I hadn't dilated anything overnight. So they were trying to talk to me about getting a C-section, and I told you guys I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to have a natural, no epidural. Okay, so like I was sticking to the fact that I did not want to do that. So I was hooked up on this machine with the IV, and it's called, I forgot what it's called. It's called Pitocin, which is a medication that helps you start your contractions, and it helps make your contractions stronger, so you can dilate further. Okay, so I told them I didn't want to do that. They can just crank up the Pitocin so I can start dilating more. Okay, so there was a point in time where they cranked up the Pitocin all the way, and I still was not dilating, and apparently that was a problem. Okay, so now they're getting more in depth and explaining to me what a cesarean is and why I might need to do it. So in that point in time, I didn't really have a choice. Babe, can you get him? Never mind, he's fine. At that point in time, I didn't really have a choice, so I had to get a C-section. But I still, like, at that point, I still thought like I had a chance, maybe. I don't know. So I was sitting in there with my sister and my boyfriend. They were in there with me, and they had just left to go to the store. They told me they were gonna go to the store and they'll be right back. So they were gone, and when they left, I went to sleep. So, you know, I'm just sleeping peacefully, whatever. And then I wake up, and I wasn't even woke for a minute before doctors started rushing in. Freaking, like, so I was scared because, like, they rushed in using a bunch of terminology that I did not understand. And, like, you know how you just wake up and, like, you're not woke, but you're up. Like, you have to be up for a certain amount of time to get an understanding, like, where you are, yada yada yada. So I was confused and I was scared. So remind you, my sister and my boyfriend had left to go to the store, and they weren't in at that point in time. So they come in and they're like, oh, we can't hear his heartbeat, and like telling me to get up, flip over, all this. Like, literally, they were flipping me. Like, they were telling me to get up, like just grabbing me. I was so scared. I'm like, what is going on? So just as all this is happening, my sister and my boyfriend had walked in, and they're confused too, like, what? So they eventually found his heartbeat. That's when they finally decided that this is not up to you, you're having a C-section. Okay, so I was like, yeah, I was mad. Okay, so as soon as they found his heartbeat, they said that I had an emergency C-section, they put on my paper. So when they found his heartbeat, they decided that it was time for me to you know, deliver him. So they put me on the little, I don't even know what it's called, the little thing that they push you, I don't know what it's called, you know, like the okay. So they took me to this room, and my sister couldn't come in, and neither could my boyfriend at the moment. The doctor who was performing the surgery was the one that was putting the stuff in my back, and like I said, I was shaky. And he was like telling me, like, why are you moving so much? Like, can you stop moving? Literally is how he said it. That's why I say, like, he's mean. And the lady who was holding my hand, she was like, try to be still, you know, calm breath, it's okay. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Although there's something to worry about. So, like, the whole time I just felt like rushed, like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Before they did put the injection in, they handed me a paper to sign. I didn't even read it. I was just like, you know what? They were telling me what it meant. I was listening, but I wasn't listening. I was just trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because last thing I remember, I woke up and then all this started happening. Okay, so I signed the paper. I guess the paper was just saying, you know, I agree to have a surgery or whatever. I guess they have to do that every time. So the stuff that they injected in me kind of worked immediately. Like, when they got done, I could not feel like the bottom half of my body, like, at all. I couldn't feel it. It was numb. It was definitely numb, because I was shook. Like, how the hell is this working this fast? But so once they like testing it, make sure like I had no feeling by like pinching me and stuff, asking me, do you feel it or not? Okay, so then after I told them I didn't, they started the process. when they started the process, they let my boyfriend in. I guess they just didn't want to let him in during the part where they inserted the medicine or whatever. But they let him in, and they had like this divider, so I couldn't see what was going on. I just felt them, like, it didn't hurt obviously because that's what the medicine, the numbing was for, but I could still feel them like tugging at my stomach. I could feel them tugging and pulling, and like it didn't hurt, but it was uncomfortable. Like it was very uncomfortable, and I was crying. And like I said, they had like a divider, so my boyfriend was like, because like obviously I was laying down, so the divider was like right here. This is like the bottom half of my body, and this is the top half of my body. And my head was right there. My boyfriend was right there as well, like holding my hand and stuff. So it did. Honestly, the procedure took no more than 30 minutes. Honestly, it was fast. And like I said, I was crying, super scared. I was just scared. Like I was still like, I was baffled. I was like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So yeah, it took like 30 minutes at the most. So when he came, it was like very emotional for me.
I got people on me.
I'm sure it's emotional for anybody, but I was like sobbing, and I was like, it made me even more sad because like I couldn't see him instantly because I had to get sewn up and everything. So they let my boyfriend see him. They let my boyfriend cut the umbilical cord. I wasn't able to see any of that because, like I said, they were sewing me up, and they didn't take long for them to sew me up. So after I got sewed up, they took me to another room. I don't know if it's like a recovery room or whatever. And I got to see him. I got to hold him, and I loved it. It was just like so amazing. And
helicopter pulling up on us.
Then, well, I got to see him for a little bit. I got to hold him for a little bit, but then after that, they had to like push out all the afterbirth and stuff. So when I first, after the whole surgery, they told me everything was good, everything looked good, I did great, and like I didn't need to do anything furthermore. But when they were pushing out the afterbirth and stuff, after they got done, they told me that I was going to need a blood transfusion, and I've never had a blood transfusion, and I wasn't scared, but I was like, a blood transfusion? So I guess I lost a lot of blood when they were pushing out the afterbirth or whatever. So they had put me on the IV again with the, I don't even know how many like little pouches of blood that I had to, I don't even remember. But I had a blood transfusion, which is considered a complication, which is, I didn't want any of that. Like I didn't want no complications, nothing, but it's considered a complication. So I had to have a blood transfusion. It was just like the thought of having somebody else's blood in my body was just super weird to me. Like it kind of freaked me out, but I wasn't scared. But it was just like, you know, I was like, what? So yeah, they had that blood transfusion, and then I don't know how long that took, but overall it was an okay delivery. I was not expecting that at all. I had a completely whole different like vision of how I was going to do it. I thought I was going to have videotapes and all this, but I didn't because I couldn't, because you're not allowed to do that when you're getting surgery. But I had stayed in a hospital for like 5 days after everything, and I pretty much had to, because I had like a C-section, I had to like take it slow. For the reason why they didn't let me go, I had to like take it slow. Like I had to like build my muscle back in the lower part of my body, because when you like do that, when they have cesareans, like they cut nerves. So I had to like, you know, get up every day and walk around the hospital just to like not retrain my body how to walk. Obviously I know how to walk, but like build my muscle back up, because obviously they had cut my nerves. So that's why I had to stay, because they had to monitor me, make sure I was doing everything right before they sent me home. They didn't want to send me home and like I'm confused on what to do. So yeah, that's my story. I don't know. So that's my story. It's nothing spectacular, but that's what you guys wanted, so I gave it to you guys. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. That's it for now until next week. And I know it's sad because I know you guys don't want to see me go, but there's no more story to tell. But like I said, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications, because if you guys don't do that, you will never know when I post, or you probably will, but it's better if you turn on the bell notifications so you know you can stay updated on everything. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.